the best thing to do is to just let go of certain things, especially when that particular thing is no longer serving its purpose or it's no longer serving you. Oftentimes, when our body is telling us, oh, I can't handle this anymore, I can't take this anymore, our mind just finds a way to keep encouraging us and saying, oh, you can do this, you are strong, you are built for this, you were made for this. If care is not taken, you continue to lose momentum, you continue to get overwhelmed and burnt out. What is your body telling you? Is there a particular relationship that keeps draining your energy? Well, that might be a pointer to the fact that maybe that relationship needs to be over. Or maybe you have to let go of that relationship. You have to be honest with yourself. Life is in seasons, life is in phases. Everything has a specific time and it has a specific expiration. Letting go can be uncomfortable at times. But trust me, there's a certain kind of peace you experience when you let go of something that you're not meant to hold on to. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on the Thrive with Lanike podcast series. And if we haven't met, my name is Lanike Awolike and I'm super excited to have you here today. This is the official first episode in 2026. And so a new season begins. This is season 2, episode 1, officially. And while I was thinking about what to talk about on this episode, I decided to, talk about something that I have been struggling with personally for a couple of weeks, months, even for almost a year now. And that is learning how to let go when something no longer serves you. And I know that a lot of us often find ourselves in that space where we are contemplating on whether to let go of certain things, certain conditions, certain place, let go of some certain people or some certain relationship. And I know that this phase can be one of the most scary phase of our lives, especially because we want to be sure that we are not making a mistake. We want to be sure that we are not making the wrong move. So today, if you're watching this and you are in that season of your life that you're wondering whether to let go of something that you've been holding on to tightly or to keep pushing, well, this episode is for you because I'll be talking about the fact that sometimes the best thing to do is to just let go of certain things, especially when that particular thing is no longer serving its purpose or it's no longer serving you. And the first question you would ask is, oh, how do I even come to a point where I feel or I perceive that um it's time to let go of a certain thing or a certain situation or a certain relationship? Well, here are two things. And as much as possible, I don't want to over spiritualize this particular episode, which there's absolutely nothing wrong about. But I want to be as practical as possible. Two signals that would serve as a pointer to the fact that it's time to let go of a particular season, a particular thing is number one, your energy and your intuition is the number two. Your energy is going to, you know, will be like the first pointer to the fact that, oh, it's time to let go of this thing. Because something that you've done over the years or something that you're used to doing just suddenly begins to feel very draining and begins to feel uncomfortable for you, then it might be a pointer to the fact that it's time to let it go. Because one thing I have learned is that sometimes our body communicates the fact that we have to let go faster than our mind does. So let me take that again. Oftentimes, our body communicates the fact that it's time to let go of certain things faster than our mind picks the signal. And the reason is because we've been trained to keep pushing, we've been trained to be motivated, not to give up, not to quit. And oftentimes, when our body is telling us, oh, I can't undo this anymore, I can't take this anymore, our mind just finds a way to keep encouraging us and saying, oh, you can do this, you are strong, you are built for this, you were made for this, you know? And if care is not taken, you just continue to deteriorate, you continue to, lose momentum, you continue to get overwhelmed and burnt out. I was in that phase last year in 2025 where I felt so tired, I felt overwhelmed, I felt burnt out, like, and no matter how much I tried to sleep it off, the tiredness just stayed. So the question is, are you feeling tired? Are you feeling exhausted? Are you feeling overwhelmed? And yet you've tried to, take the necessary rest that you feel you need. And yet your body still is not responding to it. Well, that might be a signal to the fact that there are certain things in your life that you have to let go of. So as I was saying, there was a phase in my life in 2025 that I got so overwhelmed, like I didn't even want to work. And if you know me, I'm someone who is quite passionate about all I do. But then I got to a point that I didn't even want to do anything again because doing something little, just got me exhausted and tired. And when I go to bed, I try to sleep it off. It didn't go, or it didn't go away. I knew that something was wrong. So now you have to be honest with yourself. What is your body telling you? Is there a particular relationship that keeps draining your energy, that when you see the person, maybe you see someone's call and then you begin to panic, or you begin to fidget and you begin to feel, oh my God, I don't want to pick this person's call because it's going to leave me drained, it's going to leave me tired, or it's going to leave me sad? Well, that might be a pointer to the fact that maybe that relationship needs to be over. Or maybe you have to let go of that relationship, because oftentimes a lot of us just want to hold on to things that we have no business holding on to. We are so tight-fisted that we don't even want to open our fists to let go of anything. And I can't blame you, because sometimes the society that we are in can misunderstand letting go as giving up. They can misunderstand letting go of certain things as you quitting or you giving up. But you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be truthful to yourself. Can I continue to handle this? You know? And if you are not honest with yourself, honestly, there's no way you can deal with the tiredness you're feeling right now. You might say, oh, it's because I've not had enough rest. But deep down, you know that on a normal day, if you have a 5-hour sleep or you have a 30-minute nap, you get back, you wake up and you feel energized. But now, even when you sleep for 10 hours, you don't feel as energized as you should feel. Then that might be a pointer to the fact that it's time to let go. And letting go has to do with seasons. We have to come to a point where we realize that our lives are in phases, our lives are in seasons. There's a time for everything. Even the Bible establishes the fact that there's a time for everything. So you have to know that there is a time for everything. There's a time to hold and there's a time to let go. Just as the seasons of life, winter would come. For me, here in Canada, we have summer, we have winter, we have spring, we have fall. Wherever you're watching this from, I'm sure you also have different seasons of life. And winter would not say, oh, I enjoy pouring the snow. I enjoy, making the people cold. Therefore, I would not go. If winter doesn't go, summer would not have an opportunity to thrive or bloom. And that is why you have to understand that sometimes holding on to something you ought to let go of might be pulling you back, might be holding you back from getting certain things that you need to get, that you ought to get, might be holding you back from entering certain places you need to enter into, or having that peace of mind that you've always craved for. When I started this episode, I mentioned that two things would be a pointer to the fact that it's time for you to let go. And the first one is energy. And then the second one is your intuition. And I like to see this as my spirit man. I like to see this as the Holy Spirit ministering it to my heart, because there are certain times that your spirit just feels tired. Like, you know that, okay, on a normal day, if I wanted to do this thing and I pray, the strength comes and then I feel joyful. Even when I feel tired physically, I'm joyful about it in my spirit. But now, you're tired physically and then you're tired in your spirit. You no longer have joy. Something that used to give you joy, something that used to make you so happy and excited, no longer excites you. Then it's a pointer to the fact that you might have to let go of that certain thing. And I know that as you're watching this, it might be, it might be ringing in your heart right now of those particular things that you have to let go of. Maybe it's that relationship that keeps draining you of energy, of joy, of peace. It might be letting go of that job that is constantly making you, nag and complain and has almost even turned you into a terrible person. It might be that what you have to let go of is that particular business that you know that is no longer serving its purpose. Because I believe that as Christians, we have grace to do things. But there are times when we hold on to things that we are no longer graced for. Like, we no longer have the grace to carry on with those certain things. So when you are doing a particular thing and you feel you feel it in your spirit, like, oh, I don't think I have the grace to do this anymore, then that might be a pointer to the fact that it's time to let go. You have to learn this and you have to be honest with yourself. Life is in seasons, life is in phases. Everything has a specific time and it has a specific expiration. And I know that sometimes letting go can be very terrifying, can be very scary, especially when you don't even have an idea what you're letting, what you're going into. So when you feel like, oh, it's time to let go of this certain thing, but yet you haven't figured out the next thing, it can be very scary to let go. But let's look at it like this. You have something in your palms and then you hold on to it tightly. Yet you're trusting God for something else. But your hands are closed, tightly closed, because you don't want to lose that thing that is in your hands. Yet you're trusting God for another thing. I want you to know that while you are holding on to that thing and you are not opening that hands, those hands of yours, as you're holding on to as you are clenching your fist tightly and you are not releasing it to let go of that thing you are holding on to, the new thing or the next phase that you're trusting God for might not come. I like this Bible um passage that talked about the new wine in the old wineskin. Just imagine that you are putting the new wine in the old wineskin. The way the Bible puts it is that the old wineskin cannot retain the new wine, and so the old wineskin is going to burst, and eventually the new wine is going to waste. And that is how some of us have been living our lives. We've been living wasted lives, wasted efforts. Like you're making efforts, but your efforts are wasted. You're trying your best, but at the end of the day, it's not amounting to anything. And that's probably because you are trying to put the new wine in the old wine skin. So if you're watching this right now, I want to challenge you. I want to I want you to just, be honest with yourself, be sincere with yourself. It's time to let go. Yes, letting go can be very hard. Letting go can be uncomfortable at times. But trust me, there's a certain kind of peace you experience when you let go of something that you're not meant to hold on to. There's a certain kind of joy that you feel when you let go of something you're not supposed to, hold on to. And one thing we have to face is the fact that there's a difference between obedience and forcing it. Because I've come to realize that oftentimes a lot of us want to mistake obedience to God with trying to force a thing to make it happen. When God is in something, there's always grace for it. Even when it's uncomfortable, there's always grace for it. But when grace lifts, when grace shifts, when you no longer enjoy grace doing that particular thing, and it begins to feel heavier, and despite you trying to push for more, trying to explain your way through it, trying to convince yourself, you still end up feeling exhausted. Well, it might be a sign that it's time to let go. It might be a sign that it's time to embrace the new and let go of the old. It might be a sign that the winter period of your life is over and now you have to enter into the summer period of your life. You know, in 2025, there was a time that myself and my husband, we had some certain struggles. Like we were really drained, we were so tired, we just needed a miracle. And we've prayed, 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 prayed. Even though we knew that it was a phase, it was really tiring. And then one day, as I was driving out, it started snowing. And that was the first snow in 2025. And as it started snowing, the Holy Spirit ministered to me that this snow is a symbol that you are entering into a new season. Is a symbol that you are entering into a new phase. And immediately I got so excited in my spirit. Mind you, the winter was just like a picture. The winter was just like an analogy, something to just paint the picture of what was happening to me. Because trust me, I'm someone who don't like winter. So me being excited about the fact that God said we're entering into a new season, I knew that God was not talking about winter. He was talking about a new season of our life. And so, if you are someone watching this today and things feel a little bit tough, you know, excuse me, things are not happening the way you want them to happen, things are no longer easy for you, something that you used to do with a lot of joy and excitement no longer excites you and give you joy and give you peace, then it might mean that you need to pay attention. Maybe it's time to move into a new season. It might mean that it's time for you to move into a new phase of your life. And let me just say this to you. Letting go doesn't mean you have to be hungry. Honestly, you don't need to you don't need to disclose it to anyone. Because I know that oftentimes the reason we are being skeptical and being scared about letting go is because we are being scared of being judged. We don't want people to say, oh, why did you do this? We don't want to explain to people. Well, you might need to just keep it to yourself for now. People don't always have to know about everything. At the appointed time, people will just know. by themselves that, oh, this person has moved on from this thing to another thing, or this person has moved on from this relationship to another relationship, or this person has moved on from this job to a new job or a new career path entirely. You don't need to disclose it to anyone. You don't need to explain yourself. Don't feel the need or the urge to keep explaining yourself to people, because this is one of the reasons it's hard for some of us to let go of what no longer serves us, of what no longer gives us joy, of what no longer gives us peace. You can be grateful for where you are and still move on. You can love what you have right now and still release it. You can love that person but still let them go. You can love that job, you can love that business, you can love that career path, but still let it go. Some seasons were meant to shape you, not stay with you forever. So don't mistake a season that is meant to shape you for a season that is meant to last forever. No. So if you've been feeling tired lately and you've been restless in your spirit and you've been forcing things that used to flow, this might not necessarily be an attack. It might just be an invitation to trust God enough to let go. As a matter of fact, there is no letting go without trust. You just have to trust the author and the finisher of your faith. That you letting go of a season does not mean the end of you, does not mean that you will no longer progress or succeed. You just have to trust the giver of life. That letting go might mean that he has something better for you. As a matter of fact, when God is laying it in our heart, or we're feeling the intuition to, let go of certain things, it might be because God is calling you into something bigger, something greater. And some of you, as you're watching this, you know that God is actually calling you into something bigger. God is calling you into something more. God is calling you into more, into, something deeper than you've been doing. But because of fear of it not working out, you choose to hold on to something that no longer serves its purpose. It's time to just trust God. It's time to, have faith in your heart that God will make all things work together for your good. God will make all things work together for your good. It's a journey of faith. It's a journey of trust. It's a journey of complete, dependency on God. It's a journey where you just have to choose to trust God regardless. You just have to choose to trust God regardless. Nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. I think somebody needs to hear that. Nothing is wrong with you. The fact that you're feeling what you're feeling does not mean something is wrong with you. The fact that you are, the fact that you are no longer enjoying what you used to enjoy does not mean something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. Can you just say it to yourself? Nothing is wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with me. As a matter of fact, go on and say, I am walking in alignment with God's purpose for my life in this season of my life. Because the fact that you feel tired and you feel burnt out and you feel overwhelmed and you feel the need to let go does not mean something is wrong with you. And, I just want you to take some time. Take some time to seek the face of God. Take some time to search your spirit. Take some time to, be still. Because sometimes we get answers even in the stillness of our hearts. And this is one thing you can do, which is what I did. Because I was in a phase in 2025 when I knew I needed to let go of a particular thing. And it felt like it was a terrible mistake. Trust me. It just felt like I was making a mistake by letting go of that particular thing because that particular thing has served me, has given me joy, has impacted lives. As a matter of fact, that particular thing I'm talking about is my online baking courses. My online baking courses has impacted over 12,000 people. That's huge. And apart from the fact that it has impacted thousands of people, it has also made me a lot of money. And so when I was feeling the urge, I was getting tired of, I used to be very excited about responding to people's question in the groups. I used to be very excited about, updating, posting about my classes, just answering my students and making them, impacting them. When I started feeling tired, I just knew that something was off because why would something that I used to do so gracefully and used to do with so much joy and excitement begin to feel like a burden? I got to a point whereby when I saw the notification from my online courses, I was like, what is this? I'm just done. Just tired. I began to get irritated. And God is so merciful. He would always try to guide us, but the decision is left to us to either follow his guidance or not. And so, while God was telling me that it was time to let go of that particular phase, I paused it for a while, thinking, okay, let me just allow it rest. And then there was a time that I was really broke. In fact, as a matter of fact, I was so broke, I was trying to get a loan. And if I had gotten the particular loan that I wanted to get, I would have paid like times three of it as interest. But at that point, I didn't even mind because I needed the money badly. And while I was trying to make the decision whether to take the loan or not, the Holy Spirit ministered to me and said, well, we are about to let go of these classes. We said we are letting go of these online courses, right? So instead of taking that loan, why not do a shutdown sale? And I decided to obey and did the shutdown sale. And in the space of 7 days of running the sale, the shutdown sale, we made over 3,500 in 7 days, which was way more than I wanted to borrow. And because of how much I made in that shutdown sale, I convinced myself that no, it was not God that told me to shut down this class. Like I probably received wrongly. Like I probably was very wrong about saying I wanted to shut down the classes because how can something that made me 3,500 over $3,500 in 7 days have to be shut down? Like it just didn't make sense. So I convinced myself that no, I wasn't hearing right. I continued. And as I continued, I was making 1,000 there, 500 there, 700 there, you know. But as I was making the money, I was not feeling the joy. I was not enjoying responding to my students. And you know that when you are not doing something from a place of joy, you won't do it well. And one of my personal value is whatsoever whatsoever your hands finds to do it well as unto the Lord, which is actually a verse in the Bible. And I hold that so dearly. So when I'm doing something, I always love to do it well. But at that point, when I continued the online courses, I was no longer doing it well. And you know what? I gave God some conditions about my online courses, you know, getting a job and my business. And God answered my prayers to specifics. Like He answered the prayers the way I wanted Him to. But I was still struggling with letting go. And even though God had given me what I wanted, I was still holding on to what I needed to let go, which left me frustrated. It left me angry. Angry at myself, angry at my students. My students had done nothing wrong to me. But when they ask questions, I am angry at them for asking questions. Like, why shouldn't students have the right to ask questions? And at that point, I knew that it was time to let go. And the day I took the move to bring down the online courses, I felt a kind of peace that I haven't felt in the whole of that year, because I struggled with it for a whole year. From the beginning of 2025, I struggled with it till December 2025. But then I was like, no, Lanike, we can do better. We have to just let go. And immediately I brought down the classes. I felt peace. I no longer felt hungry. And despite the fact that I had to put down the classes, people still come into my DM and say, oh, we are not able to buy classes. We are not able to access the link to the classes. I would like to get this class. I would like to get that class. And so it was really tempting for me. But I had to remind myself why I had to shut down the classes in the first place. So I'm saying all of this to just let you know that sometimes some things have served their purpose. Everything has a timeline. Everything has an expiration. Just imagine that you got a drink from the store, or you got a jar of milk from the store, a carton of milk from the store, a bottle of milk, whichever container it comes in where you are. So let's say you got a carton of milk from the store, and it's clearly written that the expiration of that carton of milk is 1st of January. But because you bought it and you are yet to open it, it's still in your fridge, you decided to keep it there, and then on the 10th of January, you decided to pick up the carton of milk and consume it. Do you know what you're doing to yourself? You are poisoning yourself. Because I'm sure by the time you even open that carton of milk, the smell you're going to perceive would not even allow you, take the milk close to your mouth. You would not even dare drink the milk. And that is how life is. When it's time to let go of certain things that have served its timeline, something that has expired, and you choose to keep holding on to it, you end up frustrated. You end up poisoning yourself, literally. Like, you end up, and the kind of poison you are giving to yourself this time around might not be the one that will purge you physically, but you are probably consuming anger, consuming unhappiness, consuming restlessness by holding on to what has already expired. So, if you watch this up until this moment, it just means that you are in that phase of your life where you know that it's time to let go. There's no reason for you to feel guilty about it. There's no reason for you to feel bad about it. As a matter of fact, sometimes you might actually feel bad about letting go of certain things. It might be painful for you to let go of certain things. But I want you to trust me that it is for your good. Because at the end of the day, God will make all things work together for your good. Whoa, I guess I've said a lot in this video. So now it's time to take a breath. Take a breath. You're not behind. You're not failing. The fact that you have to let go does not mean you're failing. You might just be standing at the edge of a new season. And it's time you let go of the old season so that you can embrace the new season and begin to walk in alignment with God's purpose for that season. So if this has helped you in any way, which I hope it has, feel free to leave a comment, like the video, Subscribe to the channel if you are yet to subscribe to the channel. Share with someone who you feel might need this video. You know someone that you know that you feel, oh, it's time for this person to let go of this certain thing. Share this video with them. And I believe it's going to help you. It's going to help them, because me talking about this is helping me, because I know that there are still certain things that I need to let go of. And I will also come back to this video to watch this. So trust me and trust God enough to let go of that particular thing that you feel strongly in your spirit to let go of. Until I see you again on another episode on Thrive with Lani Care, take care of yourself and don't be too hard on yourself. It's time to let go. I'll see you in the next episode.